Luis Figo's short comment that if he were to sign a Barcelona player for Real Madrid, he would pick Pedri, hit like a small earthquake across Spanish football. It is the sort of sentence that feels casual until you think about who said it. A former superstar whose own 2000 transfer from Barca to Madrid changed the rivalry's DNA and left scars that still echo in stands and social feeds. For fans who remember that era, a name from Figo is not academic. It is inflammatory, and it forces instant imagining of what a single signing could do to identity, tactics and fans' sense of ownership. To understand why the comment matters, you have to understand who Pedri has become. At just 22, he has moved from a fragile prodigy into a midfield presence that is increasingly steady and decisive. Coaches rely on him to control tempo, keep possession under pressure, and make the pass that unlocks defences. Recent seasons show fewer long layoffs, more consistent minutes, and a player trusted to do the hard, invisible work that turns attempts into goals. See, that technical profile explains why any suggestion of a transfer creates such a big reaction. Pedri is not a peripheral talent, he is a structural piece of Barcelona's identity. There is a neat, almost cinematic twist in Pedri's backstory. As a teenager, he trialled with Real Madrid and left thinking he had not met their standards, a rejection that later morphed into motivation on his path to La Masia and Barcelona's first team. That irony, the club that once passed on him, the player who went on to become indispensable for a rival, is exactly the kind of reversal that fuels pundit scripts, social media narratives, and the kind of headlines that keep a story trending for days. Even treated as pure what-if, the scenario writes itself and compels conversation. Realistically, the practical barriers to Pedri ever waking up in white are enormous. Contracts, release clauses and Barcelona's own sporting plan make a straight move unlikely, and the player himself would weigh loyalty, career ambition and personal life before deciding. But the point of Figo's remark is not legal feasibility. It's rhetorical. It prompts boards to think, chatter to churn and fans to take sides. Suddenly sporting directors must justify depth charts, coaches must imagine tactical rearrangements, and marketing teams must consider the brand fallout of losing or gaining a player of that profile. At its heart, this is a human story as much as a sporting one. Pedri is more than a potential transfer line. He is someone shaped by coaches, family and setbacks, and any real approach would involve conversations about development, pressure and well-being. Meanwhile, supporters will react loudly, because in modern football transfers are interpreted as moral choices as much as roster moves. Whether this episode ends as a headline that fades or becomes week-long speculation, the lesson is clear. A name uttered by the right person can reframe the present, resurrect old wounds and remind everyone why El Clásico is not merely a match, but a living narrative that changes with each new sentence.